Hey, 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 hey! Ho, ho. Welcome, everybody. It is time for another Nico Show episode, and oh my god, I really hate autofocus. It's probably the most obnoxious feature ever. It always defaults autofocus, am I right? So, I hope we're all doing okay. Please. No kitty. Alright, good. Oh, Page fan, what's up? Yeah, I'm revealing too much, aren't I? Welcome, Page fan. Man, it has been quite a bit since you last been here, man. Welcome. So, this is the Nico Show, and you know what? We're doing another gym edition of the Nico Show today, and I think I'm going to start doing that whenever I get my. So, since I'm certified under ACE Fitness Training, they send me a fitness. I guess they're calling it a fitness journal, but it's like a magazine. They do it for free, I guess, if you have been certified by them or you sign up for the program and all that. And I would like to do a Nico Show episode based on that. Talking about the stuff that's in the magazine and everything. Kind of like what we did before. We did a gym edition as well. And it was pretty fun. I enjoyed it. You know, got to talk about something that I'm really passionate about. And I helped some people out as best I could. So I'm hoping to do that again today. How's my pie day? Well, I'll tell you, I didn't eat any pie. Okay, and yeah, let's do the introductory stuff. I almost forgot. I was about to rush right in there. So, today was leg day. How did you know? Naturally, actually, I did do legs today. So, personal life, everything's going good with personal training. I got another massage, an hour massage this time on Wednesday, which was pretty nice. And you know, if you're a pretty big heavy lifter or a pretty big lifter in general, you exercise a lot, you're putting your body through a lot of strain and soreness. My cat's taking a shit right now. Anyway, I know you guys wanted to hear that. It's always good to get the blood flow through the parts of your body that have been sore or are kind of feeling really tight. Even if you stretch as best you can, there's only so much you can do, especially on the back area. There's only so much you can stretch out for your back. It's kind of hard. I mean, the only way to really get the blood flow is having a massage and people just digging into your back. That's basically what happened to me for an hour, and it was great. I love massages from a professional masseuse. I highly recommend it. So, especially where I work at the gym, I get a discount. So an hour was $40. How about that? Which is pretty great. But besides that, personal training is going great. I trained a client today who she signed up for 8 more sessions for twice a week this time. But that's okay. You know, she's comfortable enough to work out on her own now, which is pretty great. We just do twice a week. Plus, it's cheaper. Before she signed up for 12 for 30-minute sessions, so now it's just 8. And I had an orientation today. I met a guy who used to be in the Navy SEALs about 40 years ago. He's in his 60s now, and he's preparing himself to go on a sailing trip out in the Greek Isles, which is pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. It's mainly chartering, and he's a captain. He's one of the captains on it, and he really wanted to get prepared for it. So, you know, we talked, discussed. I ran him through a little crash course on what some of the machines and workouts he could be doing, and he did pretty well. Pretty well. He's had shoulder surgery and he's had knee replacement surgery. So what I do when it comes to stuff like that, I take my time, right? I explain it properly. I start out with the lightest weight. For them, depending on what they're working out. You know, you always start light, especially if they haven't done it for about 40 years from what he said. He hasn't worked out in a very long time. And that's a lot coming from a guy who used to be in the Navy SEALs back in the day, he kept telling me it was just a constant thing. It was every day, every hour, he's exercising and all that shit. Because it's not easy being a Navy SEAL. But anyway, And yeah, we started slow and steady. I always do slow and steady when it comes to working out, even if you're starting from scratch. Now, if you're someone who's been training for exercising for a while, who understands what to do, what not to do, has good technique, but just needs more push, a spotter or someone to be there, someone to give them more insight, then you don't have to really start slow and steady. You can just kind of go into it. Uh, but with him, we took our time, and he was pretty happy with what he could do. A lot of times people are pretty quick learners. You're not spending too much time teaching people, and because teaching people how to exercise is pretty. Let me just tell you, personal training is probably the easiest career for anybody to teach and I don't know, make money off of, I guess. I mean, I guess when you're a professional in anything, it's easy because you know how to do it, right? You train for it and you've been doing it for so long, or yada yada yada. So I guess to me, it's just a great career, and it's nice teaching people. It's mainly you guys that are doing all the work. I'm just there to I'm the sensei. I'm the guy, the guidance man. And anyway, yeah, the orientation went great, and hope to see him again. Gave him my business card and everything, and he said he's going to go on this sailing trip in about 2 months, and he wants to. Now he's got a taste of what's to come. He wants to do it by himself for a little bit, and then if he really needs some help and some ideas, he says he would hire me. So that's always great. Future farming. I'm farming my clients, bro. So anyway, that's got new tires for my car about a week ago. That's nice. New tires is great. I need transmission fluid swap. That's the next thing. Anything else? No, that's pretty much it. Now we'll go into the gaming stuff of what I'm playing for games. I always do this. I go through the personal stuff and then the gaming stuff. Still playing Divinity Original Sin 2. I've been dabbling in Lost Odyssey last night on the stream. That was pretty fun. It's a pretty great game. If you haven't seen Lost Odyssey or know what it's like, it's a underrated JRPG on the 360 that came out about 11 years ago. You should check it out just to get a taste of it. It's a good game. If you like Final Fantasy or just JRPGs in general, you'll like Lost Odyssey. Still playing Divinity Original Sin 2. I think I mentioned that. Had a friend over a couple days ago. Him and I played Tales of Vesperia on the Switch. That was good fun. That game is just addicting, man. I just enjoy the Tales atmosphere. Those games always just, it's a very it's kind of a therapeutic type of game. It really is. Just the way it flows. You wouldn't think that with a JRPG, right? But you do. Uh-oh. We have kitty alert. I think Nimble is wanting to go on the lap. But will he? Will he be brave enough to stumble across NIKO's lap? You gonna do it? Can you do it, kitty? You can do it? We're having a stare down right now. And I knew it! Oh, the battle cry. Come here, buddy boy. Okay, so now I got a precious cat in my lap. This is Nimble. If you haven't met Nimble, say hi, Nimble. Okay, well, you know how cats are. Meow. Okay, this is Nimble. I've had him for a year and a half now. I found this little guy after Hurricane Irma. He just came out of nowhere. It was a blessing in disguise. Right, kitty? His ribbles on my face. Anyway, so Nimble's going to be our special guest today. Let's see, any other games? I'm getting myself psyched up for Sekiro Shadow Dies Twice. That is going to be a great game. I can't wait for that, you guys. I hope some of you viewers out there will appreciate the game as well and will join me on the Sekiro journey, because that game is going to be great fun. I'll be getting it on PC, and you will definitely see me streaming that game. I can't wait. You will also see Dr. DeCesso and I be streaming it on the consoles, or if anything, maybe we'll just stream it on the computer, so we get that good frame rate. From Software games on consoles don't really do that well with frame rate, unless it's Bloodborne. Bloodborne is a pretty good one, and Dark Souls 2 is pretty good. Okay, Dark Souls Remastered, but originally Dark Souls 3, Dark Souls 1 original, Dark Souls 2 original, the frame rate is a little rough around the edges. You guys know what I'm talking about. We all know about Blighttown. Come on. That's not a lie. And anything else? Gaming-wise? No, not too much. Our cat's a psychopath. So, let us get into the fitness journal. Gross, wet nose cat. Like I said, so this is this type of stuff I get in the mail. This is what Ace sends me. And let's see. Prepare boomers for the dream trip. Peak power training. Sample global flavors for better health. And yeah, the cover of the magazine has a bunch of food items on it. Ace Insight updated Ace Health Coach Study Program. And I can't read the rest because it's got my mailing address on it. So, examples of what's going to be read about in this issue. If we don't get through it all, that's fine. We'll get through enough. All right. Peak power for clients. These training tips will help sports enthusiasts deliver muscular power at a moment's notice. Fit to travel. Get your older adults ready for the rigors of tourism and active vacations. Yeah, vacationing, you thought it was a picnic? Psh. Now if you're going to like Machu Picchu or something. Or climbing the Himalayas or something. The taste and culture of food. Ignite your passion and watch your career thrive. Idea, home studying, continuing education quizzes. Okay. And then there's food for thought. That's another thing. All right, so let's go. Like I said, we're going to read down. We'll go bit by bit discussing and talking about all this stuff. Like, if you guys have any questions, let me know. See if we can get through it together. This is an interview from an ACE specialist. We're not going to read that. Oh, here we go. Is age just a number? Yes. No, it's actually not. Because as you get older, your metabolism decreases and skin cells deteriorate. Your bones start hurting. Your bones start getting, everything starts to kind of shut down. So, you're more prone to injury as you get older, if you're not too careful. Now, if you're someone who started working out from the beginning and you've done a lot of heavy workouts or extreme training, then your bone strength is going to be a lot better. You can actually handle those stresses on your joints and everything. A lot better when you get to around ages 60 and above. But other people who don't work out and are getting into it, you'll have a harder time building resistance. So you just gotta remember that shit, man. Take your damn time. Okay, ACE investigates whether older adults respond to exercise training in a way that is similar to younger counterparts. And let me just tell you now, you do. It's pretty similar. It's not, the margin is not too far off. Let's see. So fitness levels decline as people grow older, owing to both physiological and behavioral factors. Get off, kitty. I'm reading. Can't you tell? Physiological factors include changes in the structure and function of the heart, lungs, and muscle mass. Yeah, see what I tell you. Let's see. Morally, while behavioral factors include physical inactivities, sedentary living, poor diet, tobacco use, and alcohol consumption. Yeah, basically everything that you do when you get older is just magnified times 10. You really feel the purrs of nimble. So, the health-related components of physical fitness, cardiorespiratory, muscular fitness, body composition, and flexibility are all adversely affected by the aging process. Maximal oxygen uptake, muscle strength, and mass and flexibility all decrease, while total body mass and fat mass both increase. So, yeah, you get fatter as you get older. It's just the way it goes. Because, like I said, your metabolism goes down, so yeah, your body can't process food as well as it used to and use what it needs to use. Collectively, these changes raise the risk of cardiovascular and metabolic disease, obesity, insulin resistance, back pain, falls, and all-cause mortality, while reducing the ability to perform daily living activities and maintain overall independence. Yeah, basically you're just a ticking time bomb. Although these changes occur with advancing age, they can all be showed with a physically active lifestyle. But do stop? But do other older adults respond to exercise training in a way that is similar to their younger counterparts? Let's find out. Okay, so we're trying to see if age really plays that much of a role when it comes to exercising. Do we respond to exercise the same as well as younger people compared to older people? All right, 18 sedentary, low to moderate risk men and women completed the study. 10 were in the younger group, aged 18 through 35, and 8 in the older group, aged 50 to 65. All the women in the older group were postmenopausal. Okay, got it. Can't have babies anymore. Participants first attended 4 sessions for baseline testing. Next, they completed an individualized 8-week exercise program created by the research team patterned after the ACE integrated fitness training model. Phase 1 of the program covered weeks 1 through 4 with participants exercising 3 or 4 times each week for 45 to 60 minutes each day. Phase 2 included weeks 5 to 8 with participants exercising 5 times each week for 60 to 75 minutes a day. Right, kitty? All participants performed specific functional, resistance and cardiorespiratory exercises recommended for each phase of the ACE-IFT model. Following the 8-week program, all baseline measurements were repeated. So, let's take a closer look at the program. Okay, so they started off 4 weeks doing baseline stuff, and then eventually, weeks later, they went to higher intensity. As in the ACE-IFT model itself, a key element of this research was that the exercise programs were individualized. To accomplish this, the researchers determined each participant's first and second ventilatory thresholds, then used those values to program aerobic exercise intensity. Ventilatory thresholds, or V2-1 and V2-2, are basically phases in your breathing pattern. How much, it's depending on how much oxygen you're intaking. So you basically reach to a certain point in your breathing to where you need to start breathing even more. And then you get to another certain point where you start breathing even more. And those, each time you swap, you start going past those thresholds. That's when you're increasing the phases. So below V2-1 is just like casual walking. V2-1 to V2-2, VT2, you're kind of just, it's starting to get, it's in the middle. It's starting to get a little difficult. You're starting to break a sweat. It's harder to say. The best way to test it is to say your ABCs. If you can say your ABCs to ABC to G, moderately difficult, then yeah, you're in between. You're at V2-1 and you're on your way to V2-2. Now, if you're at VT2, that means you're in the upper intensity and you're really pushing it, and you don't even want to speak. You're very uncomfortable and you're pushing really hard. So just remember it like that. Participants were free to choose how they exercise on an indoor track or on a treadmill, recumbent bike, upright bike, elliptical machine, stair, stepper, or rower. Like I said, you're going to be doing a lot of cardio type exercises. Resistance training was incorporated into the program during week 3. Subjects were monitored for safety, technique, and progression. As outlined in the ACE-IFT model, muscles targeted were the hamstrings, glutes, quadriceps, triceps, shoulders, chest, and back. Yep, all around. All right, so here we go. This is it. The results. The younger group saw statistically significant changes in all variables: VO2 max, how much oxygen you can actually intake. So they're able to, they increased it. They're able to breathe in more oxygen, get more out of it. Bench press, leg press, body composition, and sit and reach. The older group experienced significant changes in all variables except the leg press and sit and reach tests. Importantly, there were no significant differences between younger and older participants when it came to changes in health-related fitness measurements. So there you go. So health-related fitness measurements, pretty much the same, young and old. Cardiometabolic risk factor profiles at baseline and post-program. showed that the older group had a significant decrease in systolic blood pressure and that total cholesterol improved in the older group than in the younger group. There were no statistically significant changes in any cardiometabolic variable in the younger group. And that's, like I said, and as you get older, things start to go a little bit out of whack in your body. You might need more iron. You might need different kinds of vitamins. You might have excess fat. So the changes are going to be a lot grander, a lot more effective, more noticeable for the older people. But that doesn't mean that younger people don't get the same benefit, but it's definitely not as grand as older people. It's not as big a change. Finally, evaluation of anthropometric measures at baseline and post-program showed no significant improvements in resting heart rate, weight circumference, and weight in either group. Well, there you go. So, yeah, everything, the heart rate, waist, and weight was kept the same. And that could be switching fat for lean body mass, stuff like that. Yeah. So the question is, do older adults respond to exercise training in a similar way to their younger counterparts? The answer is a resounding yes. Older individuals in this study adapted to personalized cardiorespiratory and functional resistance training and improved health-related components of physical fitness to the same relevant extent as younger individuals, which is great. So if you're 100 years old, fucking go at it. Bench 300. No, I'm just kidding. Obviously, there's limitations. I get it. The one notable exception was that the older group had a more difficult time increasing lower body strength to the same degree as the younger group. Explains that this could be because the older cohort may have lost some type 2 muscle fibers simply as a result of aging, meaning that health coaches and exercise professionals may want to temper expectations for absolute strength gains in older adults. So, there you go. That is great. I actually printed out an article like that for my work, and I posted it so people can see that age is not a number. So, if you're an older person who's comparing himself to a 20-year-old, a strapping spring chicken, then it's probably not a good idea. Stop licking me, kitty. You lick your butt. Kitty's gotta go. Get out of here. Don't give me that. So, all legs. Let's see here. Train your fascia. Through muscle and fascia perform two different functions. They work together to increase the body's strength and potential. Performing exercises to strengthen the fascia can improve overall force output while possibly reducing the risk of suffering an overuse injury. Discover the importance of training fascia so your clients can make the most of their workouts. Should definitely look into that. That's pretty good. 5 habits for healthy eating. Okay. So there's something about new physical activity guidelines for Americans. Oh, here we go. I want to read this. This is kind of interesting. All right. Sitting is not the new smoking. Really? Are you serious? If people really compare sitting to smoking, oh my lord. It's normal for humans to sit, you idiots. I mean, geez Louise. All right, the evidence is definitive. Risks of smoking far outweigh the health dangers of a sedentary lifestyle. Oh, see, now we're getting to yeah, of course. It's fucking smoking. It's poison. It's poison to your body. It's important to raise awareness of the hazards of inactivity, but distorted information about risks of behavioral choices can confuse the public. The simple fact is, smoking is one of the greatest public health disasters of the past century. Sitting is not. You can't really compare the two, said study author Terry Boyle, PhD and an epidemiologist at the University of South Australia, Adelaide. In 2018, 9 researchers from the US, Canada, and Australia co-authored a study highlighting that people who sit excessively more than 8 hours a day have a 10 to 20% higher risk of dying from some cancers and common chronic diseases than people who stay more active. In contrast, Smokers have more than twice the risk of dying from cancer and cardiovascular diseases, and more than 1,000% higher risk of getting lung cancer compared with young non-smokers. Oh, facts! Take that, smokers! Any level of smoking increases the risk of dying from any cause by 180% versus a 25% risk increase from prolonged sitting. Okay. Do you not understand how ridiculous smoking is? Any level of smoking increases the risk of dying from any cause. 180% increase. Oh my God. Versus 25 for just sitting longer than 8 hours a day. Or just, not being really active. Let's just say that. The study authors, because a lot of our daytime jobs has us sitting, for the most part. The study authors do support public health efforts to change sitting habits, just as there has been campaigns to decrease smoking rates. On a positive note, since sitting is not addictive, the authors think public health initiatives may even be more successful in increasing activity and reducing sedentary behavior. Okay. So there you go. That's just a short little article. It's just stupid, man. Why? You see, people always want to justify smoking in some way. You know, when you come up with a study about sitting and then comparing it to smoking, you're giving smoking the benefit of the doubt. Like, stop fucking glorifying smoking, cigarettes and shit. Look, if anybody says smoking isn't bad for you, you can go fuck yourself. I'm just saying, because you're a lying piece of shit. And you're lying to your body, you're lying to your friends. It's immoral. So you're an asshole. So, take what I said with a grain of salt, or just suck it up, Buttercup, because your risk of dying is increased by 185%. Thanks for your lack of understanding and not how to understand how to relieve stress in life. And I've had people say, "Oh, I just smoke because it's a habit, just to smoke it." Okay, that doesn't eliminate the fact that it's killing you, you idiot. Oh, I don't smoke because it's addicting. I just do it just to smoke. I'm like, are you really that fucking ignorant? Why are you lying to yourself? Okay, if that's the thing, you know what it takes to just smoke? Smoking casually is blind ignorance. And I don't think ignorance is bliss there. That's because you smoked for so long that you're numb. You just don't care anymore. You just do it because you've done it for so many fucking years. It's the same thing with drinking. Where it becomes second nature. It's a freaking habit. And if you don't do it, you get anxiety. Okay? You get separation anxiety. And that's what addiction is. You're addicted to something, so you get separation anxiety. So, yeah, you're not smoking because it's the flavor you're going for. You just do it just to do it. Because you're addicted to smoking. There's no other way of saying it. You don't have to be addicted to the flavor of smoking to be addicted to smoking. Just doing the act itself is bad. Duh. Oh, man. It's like the flat earth theory. Like, God, what is wrong with you people? Why do you lie to yourself? Jeez. It's ridiculous. Now, the flat earth theory, there's been some pretty popular debates on that and people proving to you that the earth is flat. But, Jesus, fuck people, really? God. Oh, we all think it's made in the basement. It's all fake. The earth is flat, actually. Ooh. What, there's no state. We're not a spheroid, oblique spheroid. No way. We're flat as Florida. All right. Peak power for your clients. Here we go. These training tips will help sports enthusiasts deliver muscular power at a moment's notice. Competitive athletes often train for peak neuromuscular power to excel at the complex movements their sports require. Yeah, in other words, they kill themselves all the time. They are killing themselves in there. And they train about probably 5 times a week. It's pretty nuts. Many personal training clients want to apply the same principle to their favorite sports. With the right power training, fitness competitors can improve their tennis serve, golf swing, running speed, volleyball spike, soccer performance, basketball vertical jump, and so on. To help these clients, you need to understand the fundamentals of neuromuscular power development and 2 papers from Quorum. Okay, fine. Okay, so what is peak neuromuscular power? All right, stick with me, folks. Pay attention. A quick refresher. Strength is the ability to move against resistance. Power is the ability to deploy strength in rapid-fire bursts. The dynamic motions of sports require peak power, that is, the most strength a muscular contraction can muster in one of these quick bursts. Sporting athletes depend on peak power for jumping, running, throwing, striking, swinging, and kicking. Scientists prefer the term neuromuscular power to just power itself, because neural factors including motor unit recruitment, muscular fiber firing frequency, and synchronization of a muscle contractile forces are involved. Neuromuscular power can be affected by muscle fatigue, stretch reflexes, elastic components in muscle temperature, fiber type, pennation, and the type of muscle contraction. Okay, so I hope you know what that is. What is the strength and power relationship? Well, people need to be relatively strong before they can produce a lot of power. The researchers point to several studies indicating that stronger participants produce more power than weaker ones. Geez, you think? The science says that getting strong increases diameter of muscle fibers and triggers physiological factors that boost intramuscular coordination for power production. Thus, a major take-home for fitness pros is that before designing power-producing exercises or programs for a client, they must develop the client's foundational strength. Yes. Yes, you have to start from somewhere. Because if you're just going in willy-nilly, you're not going to do shit. Okay. Oh, excuse me. What is movement patterns specificity? Specificity. Whatever, anyway. To excel in sports, an athlete must produce power in dynamic multi-joint movements. The preferred method for achieving peak power depends on the nature of the movement pattern. As a trainer, your goal is to select exercises that strengthen muscles. Why do I keep saying muscles? God damn it. I'm getting stupider by the minute. While following the movement patterns and ranges of motion required to play the competitive sport. Training programs that improve peak power include traditional resistance training, ballistic exercises, plyometrics, and weightlifting. Yeah, you basically have to. Lifting weights is definitely a part of it. I'm telling you, you gotta be in the highest tier. You gotta do upper intensity. Traditional resistance training. Squats, bench presses, and other traditional multi-joint resistance exercises help enthusiasts develop the solid foundational strength they'll need to improve their power. Cormy and colleagues explained that heavy load training, over 80% of one repetition maximum, is a viable way to develop power largely because it recruits the bigger type 2 muscle fibers, which are considered predominantly responsible for powerful athletic performance. Type 2, Type 1 is meant for like cardio and stuff. That's kind of what that does. However, traditional resistance exercises decelerate in the latter phase of the movement, given that power is about speeding up, not slowing down. Resistance training also isn't enough to maximize peak power. Thus, fitness pros need to employ more mechanically specific training concepts such as ballistic exercises, plyometric, and weightlifting. Ballistic exercises. Ballistic movements include jump squats and bench press throws of an object such as a medicine ball. Ballistic movements encourage clients to accelerate a movement pattern throughout the entire range of motion to the point of takeoff or release of a thrown object. The movement has no deacceleration phase. You can progress ballistic exercises by increasing the load, for example, by using a heavier medicine ball for the bench press, throwing or wearing a weighted vest on the jump squat. Yeah, ballistic training is one of the more advanced training mechanisms or exercises you can do. So don't do it if you're starting out. Don't do ballistic. Oh, I'm getting sleepy. So, plyometric exercises are ballistic movements that use little to no external resistance beyond. Plyometrics also focus on the initial active stretch, which includes eccentric contraction of a muscle followed by rapid shortening concentric contraction of the same muscle. And then weightlifting. Okay, we already know about weightlifting. So yeah, kettlebell swings, box jumps with step downs, burpees with medicine ball toss, ring rows, dynamic push-ups, jump squats. Jump squats are great, man. Ooh, they're so strong. All right, let's see here. That's a cute kitty. All right. So, I'll do this last one. Let's see here. Okay. Incorporating power training for clients. Fitness pros can add power training exercises into a client program in a couple of meaningful ways. If the client seeks an adaptation for a selected sport, the approach might include a multi-week power training phase and a periodized training program. That's how sports trainers and coaches typically use periodization. Yeah. So a slow, progressive scale. You know, every time you're working out that body part, you're going to go up in weight each time. Yeah. Power training. Yeah, power training, you're just pushing really hard. That's basically all it is that you're in the upper intensity type area. Okay, fit the travel. Okay. Stick it out. Duck hunters and stuff. Okay, so fitness travel, I can just tell you right here. If you're going, like I said, if you're going anywhere that requires a lot of walking, a lot of climbing, different altitude, a different part of the world, like a different country, I would do the research and actually know what type of environments you're going to be passing through. Does it have a lot of steps? Does it have rough terrain? Is it completely flat? How hot it is? What's the weather like? How long are you going for? And how much are you going to do it? So everything's pretty relative to what you're going to want to do. If you're, like I said, if you're a mountain climber, you're going to need a lot of cardio. You're going to need some pretty good cardio. You're going to be walking, maybe at least be good at walking 3 miles, you know, without stopping. Just, you know, 2 to 3 miles. Same thing with climbing. You're going to do a lot of, if you're hiking or something, you're going to do a lot of upper body and lower body stuff. Upper body, if you're pulling yourself up over a ledge, if you're climbing stuff like that, if you're on an interesting hike trail that's not boring. Same thing with legs. You're going to need legs to go up those, step up pretty well up those steps, or going up those hills or down those hills. And the cardio will definitely help go hand in hand with that. And it shouldn't take too long to do, to be honest, at least the cardio part. Cardio, to me, doesn't take as long as getting decently strong at weightlifting. I can say it because I've been weightlifting for 15 years pretty much. Pretty close. Maybe 16 years. And man, I know what it's like to power train. I know what it's like to prepare. It's the same thing you do with obstacles, mud races, triathlons. You exercise yourself catering to what event is coming up. So, like I said, if you're going to do a mud run, it's probably the same thing. You get your cardio up pretty good, and then have good core strength to pull yourself up and push yourself up. Doing MMA or a tournament or just whatever, it doesn't matter. You just got to know what to do, what to train for, and look online. I'm sure people have plenty of things like, oh, what are some exercises I can do to get better at hiking? Pretty sure you'll find plenty of stuff like that. So the internet is at your disposal. Take advantage of it. You'll find a YouTube or a picture or something, or a book with pictures. And there's, like I said, there's nothing wrong with that. And that's when you'll have to take your time pretty good too, so you don't rush into anything stupid. So you don't injure yourself before the trip. I'm just telling you now. Okay, so like I said, folks, if training hasn't been your thing yet and you're thinking about it, just have a friend go with you, or go there and talk to somebody who can give you guidance. Because if you have any anxiety or any type of a lot of self-conscious issues that you're trying to deal with, let one of the gym staff help you out. We're all trained to handle this type of stuff. We understand that the gym can be a scary place. Eat well, eat well and die happy, right? No, eat well and live happily. Don't be into your workout quite a bit, show the power, but don't be obnoxious. Be respectful to your peers, and give them a chance, man. I've had, if you want someone to spot you, someone to lift with you, anybody in the gym will be okay with it. If nobody's okay with helping you out with the exercise, those guys are douchebags. I'm telling you. All right, folks. Well, I've been Nico the Legend. I've been your host. This has been a gym edition of the NIKO Show. If you like what you saw, follow me on Twitch, join me on the Discord, and check out YouTube. All right, take care, everybody. Bye.